All right, Trump says he would eliminate income taxes for millions of households, lower the tax rate on all businesses without adding to the federal deficit. Will the plan actually work? Joining me now is Todd Buchholz. He is former White House Director of Economic Policy under George H.W. Bush. Thank you so much for joining us. Could this possibly be revenue neutral?
We
or
don't
deficit
know.
neutral?
Hey,
yeah.
Donald Trump stood there in front of his escalators. I noticed the escalators were fixed. They weren't moving up or down. And frankly, we don't have much more detail on how he's going to get the revenue. The only thing he did say was he would eliminate the carried interest, which is something that Jeb Bush had already spoken in favor of, and other Republicans have. He does have this detail about taxing American companies on their profits abroad, which could actually lead some American companies abroad to leave America in order to avoid this Trump tax.
Well,
but for the rest of the details, we don't know.
Let's back up a little bit, because he's talking about the idea. I mean, the tax code is where Donald Trump lives. There is nothing he knows better, I think, than as a corporation how to deal with taxes. I think what he's talking about on the repatriation tax is trying to create an incentive for them to bring back their revenue this one time. I mean, this is something that a lot of different candidates have talked about, which would be stimulative. I mean, he doesn't want companies to have factories and jobs overseas, so clearly he's going to try and create a system to have them bring it back. You don't think that would boost the economy?
No, in fact, there are two aspects, apparently, to what he said. One of them is the repatriation, which I think is a solid idea and one that's been echoed by other Republicans in the race. The other one, and the details are very skimpy, seem to suggest that he would tax American companies on new profits earned abroad, which is different from the sort of territorial approach that other candidates have spoken in favor of.
But the great unleashing of the economy that would occur as a result of lowering taxes on everyone, you don't think that there would be enough growth there to make up for the loss in revenue? Not only that, I mean, how much would it hurt if the other piece of this was that we had to cut government spending in order to not balloon the deficit? I mean, that should be the second piece of this anyway.
I'm in favor of tax cuts. I'm in favor of slashing government spending. Now, the real question is not the Trump plan. The real question is the Trump. That is, can someone who's so petty — I'm surprised he didn't call the IRS commissioner ugly in his discussion — can someone who's that petty and bombastic get this plan passed? It's not a bad plan. It may very well be an excellent plan.
What does his pettiness have to do with any of this? I mean, this is a time when he's laid out actual details for people to look at. I mean, especially if you close the loopholes and you limit the deductions. You know, a lot of people feel like a simpler tax code, you know, it's unclear what the net result would be if you'd end up paying more or less once you saw those loopholes closed. But isn't this a step in the right direction? Isn't this what so many Republicans have fought for? I mean, why wouldn't they side with him, whether he's a pain in the ass or not?
It is far superior to the status quo. It is far superior than anything that's being proposed on the other side of the aisle. It is picking and choosing from what Marco Rubio has already proposed, what Chris Christie has already proposed, what Jeb Bush has already proposed. This is not a revolutionary plan. This is a matter of Donald Trump came to the microphones pretty much last, and he got to choose what he thought was good. And I think, frankly, he did a pretty good job.
It seems like he's hitting beneath them on tax levels and every single thing. I mean, he's not picking and choosing. He's sort of bettering everyone else. I'm going to lower it even more. I'm going to unleash business and entrepreneurs and even more than anyone else.
Well, for instance, Melissa, he hasn't made clear, and again, I'm not criticizing so much for the details, it's the questions he hasn't answered. So, for instance, Senator Rubio has proposed eliminating dividend taxes, capital gains taxes, immediate expensing for companies that purchase equipment. Mr. Trump is silent on that. Now, maybe he'll come out on Senator Rubio's side, maybe he won't. But so far, we don't know the answer to that.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot more details. Todd, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you.